So, start with your name, where you came from.
My name is Jacob Johnson from Spokane, Washington. I came out specifically to support the movement. I think that it's really a culmination of social justice issues and environmental things as well. It's really nice to see Indigenous people sort of unifying, putting down past grudges and sort of becoming one instead of being separate divides, which is really great, I think, for the perpetuation of culture and intertribal sharing, really, in order to sort of prevent the earth from further destruction and save their drinking water potentially for up to 17 million Americans is something well worth supporting.
So how did you hear about it?
I think it was over social media a while back. You know, these guys show up, and then, you know, another tribe shows up, and we're having this little encampment. I started to see the nonviolent direct actions when they started doing the first lockdowns on the machinery. The holding up the pipeline, I think, was something that I really wanted to be a part of, because not only the cultural importance, but also for the environmental impact that it would have if there was a spillage within the pipeline.
So, were you there the day that they used the dogs and pepper spray? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, the little Colorado tribe, they came down from Arizona, and they were singing some bird songs. They went down to the front lines where they were doing the original pipeline, and they were doing the water blessing and singing some songs. So we all marched down there peacefully, and it was Labor Day weekend, so you know, there wasn't supposed to be any construction. Down right there in that same specific area, there was a TRO, a temporary restraining order in place that was preventing enrichment continuing to build on the pipeline. The cultural significance was that there was a massacre by the American government over 138 years ago on that same very place, and over 400 women and children were killed, and a lot of the bodies were buried there on spot. So after that was sort of discovered, as far as the cultural department was concerned, they prevented it with the temporary restraining order. So the construction continued to ignore that order and was actually working on Labor Day weekend. And so we walked down there to the front lines, and there they were off in the distance bulldozing those sites, and it was just something that not only were they doing these things, but they were upturning graves. It was over 28 graves that were overturned that day. As they were ignoring the court order, there wasn't any law enforcement present because they were breaking the law, and there was only private security, and they came prepared for it with big canisters of mace, bear mace, loud horns, and attack dogs.
So, describe the scene. Like, what was it like when the law was in place and they started using the mace?
You know, we were pushing them back, trying to push those machines back. The machines themselves were mostly pointers instead of massive machines. And so I think it was a woman and her young son across the fence, and she told them, "You can't do this here." And we all pushed forward and tried to push those things back. But the security guards came with dogs almost immediately as well, with the big canisters of mace. They look like fire extinguishers, and so they come forward, and we started to push them back and try to tell them, "You can't be doing this, you can't do this, you can't do this." And it escalated to where the machine saw us cross the line, and they started to push back and tried to take off. The workers were they were employed by the pipeline itself. I couldn't tell you if they were private security, but regular employees don't come prepared with mace and attack dogs. So we pushed them back, and in doing so, they formed a line and with the attack dogs and trying to sick us on us. So we started to march forward, to push forward, and they would mace us as we were walking. The more people would move forward, the more they started to mace us. And people with horses, they let them on the horse first, and we tried to grab the horse, or tried to grab the dog a bit before the damage. There was women and children right there right with us. It wasn't a violent episode until they did that, and then it became them being antagonizers and really trying to push us back and cause fear by letting snapping dogs and mace in our face really tried to hold their ground. I don't know exactly what they envisioned was going to take place after that, but that's about it.
Did you see any of the women or children getting bit by dogs?
I didn't see anybody personally get bit. I saw the horse get bit, and we tried to stop the horse or stop the dog from continuing to attack the crowd. I didn't see personally anything, but I had mace in my face. It was hard for me to really do it. I wasn't sprayed directly, but the mist itself from the canisters was enough to sort of clear out a big area.
So, kind of getting back to the camp, like, what do you think about what's going on here? You know, especially the gathering of this many nations together. That's never happened before.
Well, I think that the last time there was this, a group like this was during Wounded Knee, and it was before my time, but growing up, looking at that, I was trying to see all these different nations come together to sort of fight a power that's just remnant of colonialism. It's a system of control that has been, waging war on the indigenous people of this land for a long time. It was really nice to see a group of natives from all different nations come together for one purpose, to protect the earth, and that itself, I think, was the key for drawing a lot of these people to come. And it's for that reason. And as they come through, they offer genuine ceremonies and genuine official delegations and genuine prayers for healing and protection of the water. And it's something that you just don't see. Something you just don't go. And it's really have a hard time. I have a hard time leaving and coming back. I really have a hard time leaving. Just being in a place where there's a ceremony taking place from all different cultures for one specific purpose. I think that the concept of a unified consciousness is really, really transcendent, as will, I think, spill out into the subconscious of all of humanity.
So, what about the vibe of the camp? Like, what kind of spirit do you feel when you're around here?
It's really relaxing. I mean, as far as people who are, in the society out there, people are. You don't smile at people, you don't talk to them, you don't wave to them. And so through here you can walk around. Where I live, natives are a very small portion, and so I get stared at anywhere. You never see Indians anywhere. So it's really nice to be around here and see people like this, and then everybody's so friendly and engaging. Smile, and you can talk to anybody. Everybody knows they're here for one purpose, and that purpose was exactly what I stated earlier. So you can walk up to anybody, just like, hey man, where you from? And everybody else talk, and they share openly and genuinely on a human level. And that's the vibe, I think, that really draws me back.
There's been a lot of kind of like talk about the seventh generation, and there's been like a lot of spirit of kind of like reviving traditional culture and stuff like that. Do you feel like that's going to continue, and that people are going to be interested in their traditional cultures and get interested in them, because you think this movie's going to grow?
I mean, one can only hope so, but I think that there's a lot of potential for people to catch on. We went down there the other day, and this man was talking. We went down there to say a prayer for places where the graves were overturned. And this man was speaking. He was an older guy. He was talking about things. He was Lakota, and he was referring to a lot of things that his grandfather would say, his prophecies his grandfather would say, and he was talking about specifically that we were the seventh generation, and specifically that there was a prophecy that his grandfather made about how the races come together so that it would bring healing to the rest of humanity. It wasn't until after we got done that I realized that his grandfather was sitting to hear that firsthand, right? Reading those words from a great leader in Native American history, speaking about the present day, and it was really transcendent for a lot of people to really make that connection.
What would you say to people who are kind of on the fence about coming out here? Because a lot of people think this fight's over, or maybe they think that they're not needed, or that there's already a lot of people here.
I would say that people are welcome to come. I think that with good intention, good things happen. A lot of times people wish that they could do something, but life prevents it, because of prior engagements, responsibilities, things like that. So I would encourage people who are out there to donate to the legal fund to help create a support system for those people that are out there, continue to stand on the front lines and do non-violent direct action in order to really make a stand for what it is that we're.
Thank you, bro. That's all.